Today we're working with our friends at Miller Marine in St. Cloud, Minnesota. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm here in beautiful St. Cloud, Minnesota. I'm here at Miller Marine, the largest Bennington pontoon boat dealer, and I'm here with Jake. Jake, thanks for being with us.
You got it.
So today is an exciting day because we're taking a look at a really neat Tritoon.
Yep.
So what are we looking at, Jake?
We are looking at a QSBA, which actually stands for Q Series Bennington with the arch on the back here. It's one of the top of the line models here with Bennington that they make, and it is absolutely a gorgeous pontoon.
And that is, and we're going to see that. So let's start in the front here. So the first thing, of course, I notice is I always like having a little bit of deck out in the front where the fence stops early.
Yep.
So you've got about a foot.
Yep. So you do have a little bit. One nice thing that Bennington does, compared to a lot of other manufacturers, they actually extend their deck out over the tubes here to give you that extra space.
Okay, so immediately you're drawn to this hull here.
Yep.
This not the hull, but the side here. So what is this made out of?
So this is what they call their cladded front here. This is a fiberglass front end.
Okay.
It's kind of their iconic look for the Q Series. They've always had it where it curved down like that.
Yep.
And they actually do give you storage on the inside of it as well. So you can store life jackets or whatever you may need to put up in their buoys, whatever it may be. So, but it does give it kind of that more modernized, real sporty look out there versus, you know, your typical flat front end like most pontoons have.
Yeah, it has a very nice look to it, and then it's got must be like a part for the cover to snap on here.
Yep.
Right around here, trim piece.
Yep, so most of Bennington's, they actually use what's called J-hooks, but with the front end, the way this is, they don't have that channel up in front here, so we do have to snap that on right here.
And then it's J-hooks the rest of the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so driving lights?
Yeah, so these are going to be your docking lights up here. They're kind of recessed back into there, so they're not on the deck on this one. Give it a real nice look to it. And then, so that's going to be like your headlights on a pontoon when you're coming to the dock or whatnot in the evening or in the morning. And then you have your nav lights on both sides. They're kind of hidden in there, so kind of real nice.
They're really
sleek
recessed
look
in there.
Yep.
Okay, and then you've got some cleats here.
Yep, so with Bennington, when we do our rub rail here, this is a stainless steel rub rail on here, we also have the option to put that recessed cleats on there, the front and the back, depending on the model.
I like that. I love that. All boats are going to that now, but that recess thing, you don't stub your toe.
Don't stub it, you don't trip and fall in the water either. So,
which is really nice. All right, one more thing I want to talk about here, and that is the tunes themselves, the pontoons. So this is a Tritoon.
Yep.
So for our viewers, explain briefly what's the difference between having, if this boat was just a pontoon with 2 tubes, or a Tritoon with 3.
Basically, they have that center tube that allows you to pivot on it versus a twin toon's very, very flat turning. Now, when people ask about going Tritoon versus twin toon, there's usually 2 things I say that would be a reason to go to Tritoon. Number one, you're going to use it recreationally, tubing, like swinging around, throwing kids, that type of thing on the tubes. The other thing is on a big lake, because you do have really good buoyancy with that center tube. You actually plane out and get up on top of the water versus actually plowing through the water.
Awesome. All right, let's take a walk down the side here and take a look at a few features.
Absolutely.
Okay, so coming on the side, you're going to notice, you know, the fins that stick out here, which are pretty standard front, but they're big.
Yep.
But it's a big boat.
Absolutely, and these are actually extruded, so they have a lot more durability to them.
Okay.
Really, kind of the rule of thumb is anytime you bend metal, you basically are gaining 20% in strength for each bend, and that's why if you look at like our rails and stuff like that, they're all extruded. Same with that, it's all extruded there to give that extra strength. So.
Okay. Quality.
Quality, exactly.
All right, so down here is where your J-hooks are going to go.
Exactly.
It's a channel, folks, is what it is.
Yep.
And then you got a hook that's shaped like a J, and then it just snaps underneath.
Yeah, hooks right in. You're seeing that a lot more nowadays with the other all the pontoons out there, but they're getting away from the snaps there, so you don't have to necessarily deal with them as much. Now, obviously, this one has snaps up in the front because that's really with the curved front end the only way we can do it on that. But yeah, the J-hooks are great, real easy to take off, easy to put on. Makes life a heck of a lot easier when putting that cover on.
I do just like the overall design, the look of the boat with all the aluminum cladding on, well, not cladding, but it's like trim.
Yep.
Looks very nice. Okay, so you do have a rub rail. That's an optional thing to put on?
Yep, so that is actually what's called Vantage Wrap and Guard, and it is something that we're doing on a bunch of pontoons because What it does, it protects the tubes from scratches and dings. I mean, obviously you can still get them, but it protects a lot better, adds a lot to the look. For what you end up, you know, paying for something like that, I mean, you're going to get that tenfold back when you go to resell it, because versus having really, you know, gross stained tubes that a lot of people, it's the first thing they look at when they look at a used pontoon. When they come in, they see this big stained tube on the bottom. You have this, and it looks really, really good.
All right, and the stains stay down below.
Yep, where you don't really see them. Yep.
So now up here, it's interesting. Now you've got this black metallic paint.
So this is actually a vinyl.
Okay.
So that's part of the wrapping guard. So the wrapping guard goes from this.
Oh, that's part of that.
Yep, they do this rub rail here, and then they do this vinyl up here to cover up some of that aluminum. And there are multiple different colors that you can do that with.
Okay.
Yep.
Down here you have another hook for docking, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be more for like if you want to put a bumper or something like that on there.
Okay.
It's not something you want to put a bunch of weight on it.
And then coming down here, of course, we have another hidden cleat. And let's talk about the motor for a minute.
Yeah.
So what size is this one?
So this one's the Yamaha F300. This is actually the digital control, so it's not going to be cable shift or whatnot. Extremely nice on this boat here. This boat here will probably get upper 40s, if not low 50s.
Wow.
Yeah, this thing's going to book.
And then and it's a big boat. How long is it with the motor?
So with the motor, this is a 25 Q series, which that's the one thing you got to remember when looking at boats and pontoons and things like that. The number on them is really nothing more than a name, because this boat overall length, just the boat, the pontoon, is like 2611 or something like that.
Okay.
So it's almost a couple feet bigger than what it says it is. And then you add that motor on the back, that's going to add at least 2.5 feet to the back of that as well. So I mean,
if not 3 feet.
Yeah, you're pushing close to 30 feet here, all said and done. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How wide, left to right?
This one's 102 inches, which is 8.5 feet.
8.5 feet.
Yep, and that is, you know, that's going to be your max until you're going to have to get like some type of permit to go down the road if you're doing like a 10-foot wide pontoon, which I do make those as well.
Okay, let's walk around the complete back. There are a few things on there I want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you got a nice ladder. How does that work?
Yeah, so this is a new design ladder. It's by Lilypad that Benningtons are putting on. Extremely nice, easy to get in, nice wide steps on this thing. So really to put this thing down, you know, you're going to take, there's a little piece here that would just pop off. Oh, there we go. Pop that off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just set that right down like that. That goes in the water. Real easy to get up on. And they do give this little strap here too that allows you to actually pull it up. So when you want to pull it up,
it just collapses right in.
Collapses right in.
That's really nice. And those steps are, I mean, the bottom two steps are probably about 3 inches roughly, but they're in the water.
Yep.
Every other step is at least 6 inches wide. It's one of the widest steps I think I've ever seen in that terms. And that's nice on your foot when it's barefoot. Okay, now underneath here you've got an area for mounting something.
Yeah, so versus if we want to do like a transducer or something, versus actually like, you know, screwing that right into the tube, where these tubes are chambered on Bennington. So if you puncture the front, the middle, or the back, none of the rest of it fills up with water.
And they're pressurized. Yeah.
Yep. And so what they do then is they give you this bracket here so you can mount your transducers, or like some people do like the underwater lighting and that type of thing, so it's not going right into the tube.
Just gives you an extra mounting point.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then if we come over here, then you've got something that's mounted right there. What is that?
So that is for the transducer. That's actually, once they get this all rigged up, ready to go, that's where the transducer for the depth finder and stuff on there is going to go.
So they've wired to this side, but you could mount another one if you wanted another one, or underwater lighting, or any other accessory.
Exactly.
Okay, so up on the back here on the deck, I like that. I don't know if you call that a swim platform area or what you technically call it, but it's wide.
It's actually what they call an extended aft deck. And yeah, it is a swim platform off the back here to give you more space again to walk, kind of like what we're talking about in the front over there. You know, and then two back here. This is where we're going to have like your pylon goes in there, so it does come with a removable ski pylon to be able to pull tubes or knee borders or whatever you may call, you know, want to do with it, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Right. Okay, and then you've got 2 speakers back here.
Yep.
So how many speakers overall does the boat have?
Well, this boat right here actually has 8 speakers overall. So it's going to have 4 on the inside, 2 up on the tower right there, and then 2 out the back here.
Okay.
So, yep, and it is an upgraded sound system on this. It do have a sub and an amp as well with it that comes inside. So it boogie's pretty good.
I bet it does. Now, I do notice you've got, is it an oil filter underneath?
That's a water fuel filter. So to separate the water from the fuel that comes through. It's pretty much standard option that we do with all the Yamahas.
Okay, and then, but that's nice and easily accessible. So the question comes, where do you fuel the boat?
Fueling the boat, you're going to have an actual access right over here on the side. So this is where you're going to...
Okay, yep, just like a regular car.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, well, let's step inside.
Absolutely.
Let's maybe start with that storage we talked about in the front, because that is deep.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of space in there, so...
Man alive. And it's the same on both sides.
Yep.
But that is a lot of storage.
Great hide spot for kids.
Yeah, there you go. Get them young enough, and hide and seek would be great.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so these actually have these new smooth glide on them, so realistically, rather than lifting, you just have to slide it and push it down.
Up.
Yep, so they create just kind of an ingenious thing they put down on the floor
look
there.
Look at that. So it's got just enough resistance to stay closed, or to stay open, I mean.
Yep.
That is sweet. Okay, so let's talk about the seats themselves. What kind of material are we looking at?
So this material is called Syntex vinyl.
Okay.
It's a very nice, durable material. I mean, as far as like, the standard vinyl that you see out there on a lot of different pontoons and boats and stuff, this stuff you don't stick to when you're sweating, which is really a nice thing. You're not peeling yourself off. It does not retain heat like the standard vinyl does. Nope, it's actually, I kind of, when I talk to people about this, it reminds me of like a warm towel. When you take them out of like the dryer, right. They got actually a welcoming feel to it. So it's a very nice. We absolutely love it. It's been a really good move for Bennington to go to this Syntex vinyl.
So in terms of sitting on a boat, I mean, seats get wet, right? So how does this deal with having water on it?
Yeah, it just sheds it right off.
Okay.
Yep, it's pretty resistant to any of that type of stuff. It's not going to soak up water or moisture or any of that,
Okay,
fun stuff.
I do like the lounge chair where you can lean back here. You've got an armrest that pulls out right here with a cup holder on both sides.
Yep.
That side you've got a little strap to hold like a cell phone if you wanted to.
And that actually charges your phone too. So
that's a wireless charger?
Yep. You put that
Hang on a minute. I need a moment of silence because I just found a wireless charger on a boat. Hang on. That's a moment right there.
And then also down here where the speakers are, so we do have the speakers on the back side of the seat here. We also have a USB port in this as well to be able to charge, and that actually has the lightning port on here too. So
you have
both of them, yeah. So like what a lot of them are going to now. So now you also notice on these seats too, with this model, you have the red stitching in here, the red accent in there to complement the
red exterior.
The red exterior, yep. Well, now you notice how you're sitting there. Do you feel like you're bottoming out right now, like you're sitting on a piece of plywood?
No.
So that's the one nice thing with Bennington. Now, it doesn't matter if you look at Bennington's S-Series model or all the way up to our Q-Series like we're in now. The quality through all of it's all the same. They're all built the same. But the seats on here, what I'm getting at here is that they use 5 different grades of memory foam in them to help with our pressure points in our body, so that when we sit down, it's a very comfortable, you're not fidgety. The other thing is you're not bottoming out. You're not getting all the way down. Not at all. Nope. And it does really well. Now, I have said, people say, oh, it's a little stiff, but that's in the wintertime. It's 65 degrees. When you get it out in the sun and stuff starts to warm up, they're going to soften up a little bit, but you're still not going to bottom out. It's still going to be very, very comfortable for you.
This feels very comfortable to me.
Yeah, a little bit wider too on the bottom. So.
Okay, you got some storage underneath the seats. And so to get to those, we'll take off these removable cup holders. You got a little side pocket on them here.
Yep.
So that you can store whatever you want. And then I guess I'll open this one here.
So now the nice thing with Bennington storage is, and the base of the seats is that they're actually all enclosed on the bottom. So, and then on top of that too, they have a drip tray on the backside here. So any water that floats between, your cushion here and the back of the seat, it's going to get into that little drip tray and float right out the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
So that way it's more than anything dry storage for your stuff, your towels, your life jackets, that type of thing.
Okay.
So
I'll just take a look here. Move this here a minute.
to open this up, just lift up on that and push it down just like that.
There you go.
And the same thing when you want to close it. You just lift up from the bottom, push in.
Let's see if I can get this.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Now
on top of this,
you've got some extra storage here, a garbage can, whatever.
Can, yep.
I like that. Out of the way.
Get rid of the trash.
Man. And now this side, that part of the seat does not open because it's up against the driver's console.
Exactly.
Okay. So underneath here, what do we have?
That there is a ton of storage. It's 7 feet long and 32 inches in diameter.
Oh man, that's like another boat under there.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna put your skis, wakeboards, any of that type of stuff.
Hey, that's a deep store. You can fit a lot of toys in there.
You can fit a lot in there for sure.
Man. All right, so now we can see some of the what do you call it, toe lighting?
Yep, toe kick lighting on it. You have the lighted speakers on here. This one also has the side illumination on the tubes outside, so they're going to light up, change different colors and things like that. So
very nice. And we have some storage in here, right? Or is that just access
Yep,
to...
so that's going to be storage too in there. Okay. That also has the amp and the sub in there for the speaker system as well. Bennington's Helms are always fiberglass. They're one full solid piece. One full piece mold all the way through. Fiberglass it's a lot more durable than doing plastic, and it's repairable. I mean, if you break plastic, you have to replace it.
The whole thing. This you can repair
if need be. But
I've worked with fiberglass before. I understand that completely. I do like the small windshield here.
Yep. So that's their new glass windshield on this, or windscreen is what they call that. Super nice. Adds a real sleek look to it.
It does. I really like it. You've got an extra door off to this passenger side here.
So you're gonna have another port side door on that side. So on this pontoon, you're gonna have a door up in front, the port side, and then one off the back.
All right. Let's talk about this, because this is kind of cool because it lowers electronically.
Yep, absolutely. So this is their cladded arch. Extremely nice option. It actually has a piece up on top. You can pull like knee boarders and skiers and wakeboarders and stuff like that. And then this is going to be where your anchor light goes.
Okay.
So that plugs in on top of that little piece up there. Yep.
That's really neat.
And then this is also your bimini too. That's going to be able to extend back, open up to give you shade when you need that.
Okay.
So
and this is powered.
It's 100% powered.
What type of flooring do you have?
So on this is a woven vinyl floor. This is similar to like your seagrass flooring and that type of thing.
Yeah, it's as water just goes right underneath, it goes back out again.
Yep, so like on Bennington's, all of our panels and all of our rails, they're actually bolted into the cross channels. Okay. So it's kind of crazy. Bennington, in my opinion, is kind of like a tank on the water. They're very well built. They don't skip a beat on it. All your cross channels are 1/4 inch thick, they're 3 inches tall. All the flooring is through bolted down into that with a nylock nut. So super, super durable, very little flex between the tubes. And that's the one thing I tell people when you're looking at, your pontoons and how they're connected, you want that to be really strong. Because you think about it, you take an ice tray and you twist that ice tray, all the cubes pop out.
Right.
Well, water's never still. And so when you're on the water and you're getting that flex between the tubes and stuff like that, the more flex you have, the more things give. You get creaking, you get noises, things start to fall apart. And that's why they use the cross channels that they do, so it's that much more durable. And then again, they bolt the panels and the rails actually right down into those cross channels, not just the flooring. And they also use a vibration dampener in between the panels and the rails to give you a lot sounder ride when you're out in the water.
Is there a marine grade plywood underneath?
This is a marine grade plywood, and actually the plywood that they use is a brown treated plywood.
Okay.
So it's guaranteed for life.
We've got another lounge chair right here.
Yep.
And does this come up too, like the other one?
This one does too, just like the other one. So you can put another trash can there if you want. Now, the nice thing about this is our Swingback model, and they actually do this in 2 ways. Where one, you have this nice bench seat here. The other option is to do what they call a co-captain's chair. So it'd be another captain's chair instead of this bench here.
Oh, okay. So you can have that as well.
Yep, you can do either or.
I do like this. And I like the feel of it.
Yep.
And I like the color and the texture.
This here, these are very, very durable tables. They're not just plastic tables.
They're thick.
Yeah, so if you take and you lift up on
that's not hollow, folks. That is yay thick.
Check this out. If we take this and we lift this up, okay. Hold on to that for a sec. I'll take that back. Feel the weight of that.
Ooh. Okay. That is definitely got some heft to it.
Oh yeah. They came out with this a few years ago. Got rid of the plastic tables and made this very, very durable one.
So let's talk about the captain's area. It's one of my favorite areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the captain's chair will recline, swivel.
Yep. This captain's chair is going to slide forward and backwards to give you more room or less room so you can get closer to the steering wheel. It turns, so it swivels and everything like that too. So we can easily turn that. It does lock in place as well.
Okay.
That's why you have the little pedal thing here. Yep.
Okay.
And then it does recline. So this is also, if I take this, I can push this down and it reclines forward and backwards. Now the nice thing about these seats is that they actually have what they call self-leveling arms. So as you go back and you come forward, this is always going to stay level just like that.
Really?
Yep. So it makes it very comfortable for you.
That is really neat. All right, let's talk about, you got a tiltable steering wheel.
Yep.
And then walk us through what we have in terms of gauges, buttons.
Yeah, so I mean, on this one here, this is our deluxe steering wheel here. It's leather wrapped, super, super nice, super comfortable. You do have power assist steering with this motor and everything, so it makes it, I mean,
really easy to turn.
Super easy to turn, yep. And tilt on there as well. Then we have the push buttons on here. We're going to have our lighting controls. So you have your exterior lighting controls, your mood lighting controls. You have your nav lights, your horn, your docking lights. All that stuff's going to be here. These are breakers here as well. Yep. So versus using fuses and that type of stuff. Yep. And then we got our Rockford Fosgate sound system to go with the other ones with the 8 speakers, and then our Simrad display here, which is actually going to house all like your tachometer, your hour meter,
it's going
all
to do
that
everything
stuff.
because it's electronically connected to the motor.
Exactly.
And if you've not seen one of these before, folks, they are absolutely amazing. We don't have time in this to get into that, but they show a depth to your motor you've never seen before. They're incredible.
They got rid of the actual hard gauges and they built them right into the screen. And that also will have like your depth, have lake maps, all that type of stuff. So, Yep.
And then, people always ask, well, it is a touch screen.
It is. Yep.
It is.
It is touch screen.
How does it hold up with water on it?
Very well. It's made for the water.
Yeah.
So
then over there, of course, you've got your ignition. What's this other light?
So this right here, this is our master power switch. So the master switch is actually going to be just for your Helm stuff here. So, you don't get kids coming in, pressing buttons and leaving the radio on, that type of thing. There is actually a battery switch in back here where the batteries are located that will turn off power to everything, including the motor and all that. With the master power switch off, you still can tilt and trim that motor, so it doesn't cut it off to that.
And it's all electronically linked. There's no cables.
Yep.
But you got a standard throttle, forward and reverse. But you have a couple of buttons I was curious about.
Yeah.
So you got the normal trim, so it'll be just like any other boat you've been in. However, you have one that's called station, neutral hold, and then trim assist. So what are those?
So the trim assist is basically as you're driving on the water, it's going to basically automatically trim it for you. Yep. And then the other two really aren't going to be used. The station hold is like, on some of these other boats out there that have like an upper deck, you can switch it to that to control the motor from up top there. Yep. And then basically the neutral one here is going to allow for basically disengage the prop in a sense. And then you have your trim gauge or your trim button on there along with your RPM control. So RPM control is kind of nice. For example, this really comes down more to like fishing boats and stuff like that. But with the throttle, when you give it a little gas, it can be kind of hard to
you go out incrementally.
Yeah,
it makes
exactly.
Jumps, right.
Yep. And so this allows you to raise the RPMs without having to move the throttle,
which is also really good for wakeboarding.
Yep.
You can set that trim that RPM exactly where you need
it.
Okay, now back here, you have a couch that kind of goes two ways.
Yep, absolutely. So this is actually what we call our Swingback. There's a few different types of them. This one here has it where you have your backrest right there that can swing forward or backwards. You can also actually hide it underneath the cushion here, and we got two cushions back there that actually tilt up as well.
Okay. So it goes both ways. So this moves.
Yeah. So this is your Swingback here. You can move it one way or the other, depending on which way you want to be. Now,
so one way you basically got a couch on the inside, but on the other way you've got a lounge that you can lay on.
Exactly. Now, you do got to keep in mind, if you're on this, you cannot be back here while the boat is underway because you don't have any type of rail system. Yep.
Okay.
They do make a keeper rail though that you can put back here.
You can put back.
Yep. So you are able to be back there while underway.
Okay. There is storage underneath here.
Yep. So here, one more thing. Let me show you this. So this does pull up. This is where our ski pylon is going to be, right in here.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then
that's a big one.
And then we can actually take this, lift this up, and this can fold right down inside here. So if I take this, and that goes right down like that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you can get rid of that and just have a platform you can go to sleep on if you want.
Exactly. Yep.
Wow.
And then these two right here, these actually do lift up. So when you do put it away, you have a little backrest facing that way.
That's ingenious. I absolutely love that. And then this is where the battery is stored down here?
Yep. So this one's actually going to have a storage underneath. This is where the cover is located right now. We've got two batteries in here for the pontoon.
Okay.
So you're going to need that with the speaker system and that type of thing, and the lights. And then this right here is actually a privacy.
Like a changing area.
Yep. The privacy frame curtain allows you to get change if you want to.
Oh, I love it.
And that does snap on.
Away.
Yep.
You can use it and then put it right back.
Exactly. That way, if you got kids and stuff like that need to get dressed or changed or whatever.
It's just nice. I mean, what a nice use of that space. Now, I also notice you have another USB outlet back here and controls for
the radio.
And that controls the whole radio for the boat, not just the rear speakers or anything.
Exactly.
Okay. So, availability. If someone saw this video and said, I want to go to Miller Marine, I'm going to call them up, I want that one. How many, is it available now?
So yeah, we actually have quite a few in stock right now. I mean, being the world's largest Bennington dealer, we definitely stock up on stuff. That's right.
All right. What about warranty?
They do a lifetime warranty on all the structure. So that's tubes, cross channels, marine grade plywood, panels, rails, bimini top, the fiberglass helm, and all the bases to the seat. Yeah. Lifetime warranty as long as you own it. Now, if it's not covered by that, they cover it underneath a 10-year warranty.
Okay.
And 10-year warranty is all parts and labor, and that's on your canvas for the cover and the bimini. That's for the vinyl on the seats and the vinyl floors and all your electrical.
That's a very good warranty.
And they back it. That's a huge thing. That's one reason that we're so big into Bennington here is because if there ever is an issue, which we never want there to be issues, but they are what they are.
Yeah.
If there ever is an issue, Bennington's very good at backing up their warranty, and down the road, if things, hit the fan, because they're owned by Polaris, which is a huge company, they're not going anywhere. You're still going to have that warranty. And that warranty is transferable to the second owner.
Oh, wow.
So now the lifetime transfers as a 10-year to the second owner. But whoever were to buy this, they're going to have,
that peace of mind.
That peace of mind. If they sell it 3 years from now, they're going to have basically 7 years of warranty on everything on this if they were to sell it. So helps with resale as well.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for spending your time going on a thorough tour and review of this beautiful Bennington Tritoon. What an amazing boat and quality throughout.
Absolutely. No, it's they're beautiful and they're great on the water. A lot of fun too.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.